Hello and happy. What is today? I think it's. Is it Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. Yeah. The bush trimmer came yesterday, so today has to be Wednesday. So, um, for those of you who have been watching for a while, thank you for returning. For those of you who are new, and I have a bunch of new ones since the Christmas and July fairies started, thank you, thank you, thank you. So those of you who have been here a while, this is a top that I made a while back. I didn't like how wide it was. I didn't like how long it was because it came down to almost, let me scoot back. It came down to like right here, if not longer. So I decided to change it up. I took it apart completely and decided to remake it. So the stitch count is stitch count is 84 is the stitch count, because the stitch count for the pattern is 20 plus 4. So the bottom stitch count is 84. Now, yes, there are holes. I have a sports bra on, so I don't really care. But this is what it looks like. Whoops. Trip over a container. This is what it looks like. It only comes just a little bit below my fatness here. I might make it a little bit longer. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I like it. I mean, it's not... yeah. I'll probably have to make it a little bit longer, but I'm not really, I do like it, though. The stitch pattern that I found it in a book, and the book is like a 1988 publication. Kind of looks like diamonds. To me, in the book, it looks like it looks like it's supposed to be like a star formation, but I don't see that in my shirt, in my top. So, no, I didn't color control it. I am the type of person that once I make a stitch, okay, I want it to be perfect the first time. Anytime. All the time. Doesn't happen, doesn't always happen, hardly ever happens, right? So, I don't color control. But this is one complete, from back up to the front. And so what I did was I did the whole back, and the first time that I did this, the total times that I've had to frog it is probably about 7. Just because it was too wide, I didn't like it, numerous things. Finally, when I started this one, I knew I wanted it to be 84. I knew the stitch count to be 80 plus 4. But I didn't know how long that I needed it. So I first did it at 45 before I started the front part. And 45 brought it like way below my behind. And I didn't want it that long. So I decided to change it up. And I noticed that it wasn't as wide as it should have been, and that's okay. So what I did was I added 2 single crochets, 2 double crochets, and a single crochet for the whole length of it. And so this is what it turns out on the sides. Kind of cool. I've never really paid that much attention to it. And then I just went around the sleeves with just a single crochet, just to clean up the sleeve a little bit. I think, actually, yeah, just another single crochet to clean up the edge of the sleeve. And then around the top, or around the neck, I did a couple of single crochets to clean up the neck. and a couple single crochets at the bottom to clean up the bottom, to clean up the waistband. So, so this is my top. And I really like it. I think it's cool. It's kind of lacy, it's kind of breathy, it's kind of, you know, whatever. I don't mind. So, anyway, other things that I'm working on, I am not working on anything else. Yay! Actually, I have something that I started, but I need yarn. Who knew? Right? Okay, so I need the yarn that I need. I'm not sure that I'm going to find, and I don't want to order it online. I want to find it in the stores if I can find it in the stores, and I'm using this the I can't remember what it's called, the Crayola multicultural colors for my colors, and I think I have about 5 that I can match. I have 5 that I can match. So I'm doing that, and whenever I get a chance to go, and I will do that. I have the paper in my purse so that when I go I can actually look for those colors. Whether I'll remember to look for those colors is another story. So I just thought I would show you this top. So this is number 3. No, this is number 4. This is the 4th top that I've done, and I am getting better at it. One suggestion for any of you who do wearables, one suggestion that I have that I absolutely love is that when you get ready to sew up your side seams, so when you sew up your side seams, if you only have side seams, now like I said, what I did is I did up the back, and then on one side, now I'm not sure, okay, so what I did, and I have to look at it this way, okay, so what I did was, it was blue, this is the natural side, and this is the added on side. Okay, so the natural side, what I mean by the natural side is back here. I don't know how well you can see it back there, but it's got blue all the way across, and it comes over here. Or wait a minute, it comes over here. So the blue, I figured out my middle. I figured out how many stitches I would need for the neckline. And then I just went back and forth, and then I stopped it. Now I stopped it on the outside, and I didn't cut it. I left a long length before I cut it. I left a long length, and I tied it, folded it, tied it, and the loop that was left, I put a stitch marker in that and put a stitch marker in the fabric, or in the top. So then this side, I added this, and I went back and forth, and then I chained across here. I chained across here, continued the pattern over here, and then continued the pattern on down the top. Now, when I got to the bottom, I had to add the sides, which was fine. So I added the sides. I had to add more, so I had to cut off and weave in ends for what I left over here. I mean, I left a long length, and then I tied it together, and then I cut it off and had to weave in those ends. So I went back and forth. I went the length of the top, and then once I got the width that I wanted, the round, once I got what I wanted, I slip stitched in the 2 middle. Now you have So you've got 2 on this side. You've got 2 on the front, 2 on the back. These are your stitches. So I went through the middle ones, these 2 here, and well, I didn't count my stitches, so I figured out what my armhole was going to be, and then I clipped those. I put a stitch marker through both sides, through all 4 loops, and then took it down to the bottom. So some of them have, on one side it's a single crochet together, or not a single crochet, a slip stitch together. So it's a slip stitch together on one side, but just through 1 loop on the other side, and then slip stitched. So that's how I did the sides, and I kept that yarn. I cut it on the one side, didn't cut it on the other side after I did the other side, but I kept that yarn and I went around the sleeve once or twice, it looks, twice, I went around the sleeve twice, and then I cut it off. Now if you have any ends from the inside, what you'll want to do, and what I did on my white top, is I had to seam the shoulders. So I seamed the shoulders, but I kept the yarn on there, and then I did the neckline. I did around the neck. So if you do that, you end up with less cutting, less sewing at ends, and less knots. Just a suggestion. So anyway, I am now 12 minutes. So I will let you guys go. Again, happy Wednesday. Happy yarning, and I'll see you later. Bye!